All right, everybody. Is everybody ready?
Uh-huh.
What about you, Joe? You ready?
He's in the chat. I'm sure he's ready, Donnie. Let's go.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just start recording. 3, 2, 1. Hi, guys. It's me, the real Donald T. Hashtag 45 was the only president. Today, we're going to be looking at my 10 most recent Steam reviews, and I've enlisted a little help from my friends. Say hello, guys.
Hello, fellow Americans.
I'm doing what? Who said I should? Where's Jill?
Oh, that's great, Joe. Well, seeing as this one's short, why don't we give this one to you, you bumbling...
What is it I'm supposed to be doing?
Just read from the teleprompter, sir.
Just read? Oh, okay. Subnautica, not recommended 86.4 hours on record, 81.3 hours at review time. Crazy that they can advertise a game as VR on the Steam store when it doesn't work. Posted 10 December 2022. You can stop reading now, Mr. President.
Great job, Joe. Really, truly a terrific job from a man of your...
Where am I again?
Anyway, moving on here. Barack, why don't you take number 2?
Sure thing. Thanks, Donnie. Here goes. Call of Duty Warzone 2. Not recommended 27.9 hours on record, 4.6 hours at review time, incredibly buggy throughout, and very, very unstable. Netcode is pretty average, overall sloppy. Drip feeds you functional and cosmetic content, so you cave and spend money on their battle pass. Mic spamming needs to be controlled. Basic features are missing, like toggle laser, mute player, or having one round from a mag enter the chamber when you rack it. They use real guns, but use the wrong names to avoid paying for the IP, which is gross. This is the McDonald's of the gaming industry. Posted 24 November 2022, last edited 28 December 2022. Well, Donald, I'm surprised you didn't love it if it was the McDonald's of the industry.
You know what, Barack? That's actually a good point. I love McDonald's. Call of Duty Warzone 2 is a 10 out of 10. Just like my daughters. No regrets. Anyway, next up we have Ready or Not. This game is recommended. Although it must be said that I was not ready, Barack. 79.4 hours on record, 30.3 HRs at review time. Wickedly tight gunplay on a mix of good maps. Plenty of depth in loadout customization so you can adapt to the situation you are going into. Yet it remains simple enough to drop into without doing an hour of research and gear prep. Lots of fun to be had in a good team. Currently, non-lethal's in a bad state. Flashbang launcher detonates unreliably. CS gas doesn't fill space and has to have line of sight to be effective. So a gas grenade that lands behind a coffee table would not have any effect. With that said, it's still really fun to play non-lethal, and I have moved to playing that style almost exclusively. Also worth noting that the AI can shoot through 2 feet of concrete for some reason. Okay, fourth up, we have War Thunder. Throwing it back to you, Barack, as I think Joe might be AFK. And I mean, literally, we all know he's been mentally AFK for a while.
Cheers, Donnie. War Thunder, recommended 22.6 hours on record with 15.6 hours at review time. The aircraft are fun, but maybe need balancing. The defensive guns on bomber aircraft are especially useless, and firing accurately normally results in suspiciously few hits and minimal damage. This means the guns are almost useless, which they shouldn't be. The land battles are dire. Unarmored targets can soak up shell after shell, like AA trucks. You can easily roll up behind an enemy tank and hit the enemy in the back of the turret or engine rack repeatedly, more than 5 times, and not destroy the tank, whereas a machine gun will damage them front on. The damage armor system is awful, makes for incredibly unsatisfying combat in a futile gameplay loop. Posted 24 September 2022, last edited 2nd October 2022.
Okay, so...
That was weird what you said about your daughters, by the way.
Not as weird as what Joe's daughter said about him. Anyway, next up at number 5, we have Barotrauma. And you know what? This is another short one, so why don't we give it to Joe? Are you back, Joe?
I'm supposed to be getting my next shot.
Joe, hello, are you there, Joe?
But Jill said I shouldn't. Said I should not speak.
Hello, Sleepy Joe, are you there?
What? I hear someone saying my name in my ear. Who is that? Hello?
Joe, you're a terrific guy. Truly you are, and I mean that. You know me, but can you just read what's in front of you, please, Joe?
Shura Barotrauma, recommended with 133.8 hours on record, 47.1 of those hours at review time. Early access review, tough, weird, satisfying. We'll do a better review at 100 HRs, but if you like hardcore survival, this is worth your time. Edit, just as odd and intense as ever. Posted 27 November 2021, last edited 19 November 2022. Sorry, who exactly is it that I can hear in my ear right now? Hello?
Sixth in line is Rising Storm 2, Vietnam, 178.1 hours on record, 59.1 hours at review time. Summary: a tight, intense, and unforgiving FPS complete with helicopters, air support, and artillery that add carnage to already chaotic gunfights.
Sorry, who is it that I can hear right
Rough
now?
around the edges, but very fun to play with ample variation between games thanks to unique infantry classes, roles, asymmetrical warfare, and decent map design. Some estimates claim that up to 39% of casualties in the Vietnam War were a result of blue on blue. Warn your whole team about incoming arty and watch them shuffle into the ongoing barrage. That's realism for you. Excellent for £5. Just about worth it for £15. Available on CD keys for number £3. Pros tight gunplay. Good maps with plenty of foliage. Quite a low TDK. I would still like a hardcore mode.
Hello?
Lots of bullet penetration through weak structures. One of the only games where shotguns are implemented well. Commander roles call in napalm, artillery, scout planes, etc.
Bill, is it Bill?
Helicopters are tough, but exceptionally rewarding. Balanced and fun asymmetrical warfare. Decent period-accurate weapon and item sets. Multiple forces, including the Aussies. Some excellent mechanics, weapon bracing, drop items, surprisingly useful. Bipods, mostly work. Carry ammo for support, check mag, etc. These should be more prevalent in other titles. Resupplying and picking up kit off of the dead leads to fluid and dynamic gameplay, even if it's really weird.
Is that you, Bill?
That you get all the ammo from the pockets of the corpse, too. Decent injury system. Wish it was more complex. I really like the campaign mode, despite it not having many helicopter maps. Played on an excellent community-made map recently. These aren't used often enough. Generally, lots of fun to be had. Cool cosmetics, riddle bamboo houses with automatic fire, triggered trip mines, and enemy tunnel systems. Feels very Vietnam. Cons, very buggy. Generally smooth movement, but a lot of very bad terrain interactions. Item placement so bad it deserves a medal. When defending, you are often made to rush onto points like you're an attacker, undermining the whole concept of being in defense. Very poor design choice.
Can you hear me?
Voice chat is a nightmare. Muting doesn't work, and people play global music. Sometimes it doesn't even tell you who is clogging the airwaves. Grenades float like styrofoam. Rifle grenades float like cotton wool. Rifle grenades in general were clearly designed and implemented by an intern. Lack of hardcore servers. Would be fun to play without labeled friendlies. If a point is taken, traps are destroyed. This is incredibly silly, seeing as the VC would always leave traps behind upon retreat. Bad design choice, again, undermines defenders. Very unpleasant community with little mic usage. Of those that do talk up to 1-4 are awful, mainly very whiny. These people always exist, but seem particularly full of themselves here. Lots of games are populated by people with little interest in the objective, resulting in short, boring routes. Almost as many bugs as in an actual rainforest. I speak from experience. Lean mechanic is almost entirely dysfunctional, except in the open, where leaning is pointless, unless behind a tree. Deaths are hidden, making critical appraisal of your performance impossible. In fact, there are almost no end of match statistics. A lot of great cosmetics, mainly locked behind paywalls. They will cost you 3 times more than the game to unlock them all. This stings a little, given the very rough edges of the game. Map voting means you end up on the same maps all the time. Reload animations continue for too long after the gun is reloaded. Sprinting in this time resets it, even if the new mag is in and around chambered. Lots of issues like this. Auto-throw key won't throw Molotovs or smokes. Molotovs make you jump pop up while lighting them if thrown from prone. Can't change out claymores, which are essentially useless, given they are manually detonated. They had tripwires. Stupid to have to take them when you attack. Have to be very close to detonate them to the point that you might as well have your gun drawn. A horrible bit of compulsory kit that could easily be fixed. The South Vietnamese Western forces win at a significantly disproportional rate. This is because radio commander teamwork is needed to maximize North Vietnamese capabilities. Very buggy. As an aside, I will probably not purchase any game at full price from these devs, given the issues with all the bugs. I really enjoy this Rising Storm, but it has an awful lot of rough edges. And the more you hone your skills, the more obvious and annoying the bugs become, like sanding down a wooden sculpture and exposing more and more nails. If their next game is a lot more refined, I'd put them up there as one of the best dev groups out there. but it'll be quite the leap.
You're not really listening to that guy, are you? We need 11 trillion, 500 billion more pieces of chaos objects. And wait, I don't want to put any pressure on you, but the economy is going tremendously, and we've created 5 billion jobs. Have you seen my wife? She smells phenomenal.
I'm taking number 7, Donnie, Valheim. Recommended 577.7 hours on record, 16.8 hours at review time, early access review, original. The idea of buying an early access open world survival game in 2021 must seem absolutely nuts, but this game is just exquisite. It's a deep, beautiful, enchanting universe with really satisfying mechanics and all-round excellent design. This immediately places it head and shoulders above most fully released games from AAA studios. The combat is fun and varied, the world feels alive and atmospheric, the inventory system is pleasant and intuitive, and surprisingly, the construction mechanics actually work and aren't vile to use. It just feels like 80% of the promises game developers usually fail to fulfill were wrapped up into their own little success story with an unexpected runic wrapper. And it's certainly not a case of this game will be fantastic. It already is fantastic, and for an open world game, the lack of bugs is simply unprecedented. It reminds me of Minecraft, Breath of the Wild, and Skyrim. These are games I'm very fond of, and I believe Valheim may well produce a similar, well-deserved legacy of its own. Update. Approaching 250 in-game hours, and Valheim remains charming, challenging, addictive, and incredibly satisfying. Please see bottom for some issues I think deserve addressing or discussion. Devs and fans alike, I would like to see if people broadly agree. Update, approaching 600 in-game hours and playing Home and Hearth update. New build items are great. My new meat hall is awesome. Food system is far more intricate, if less forgiving, certainly adds depth. The new enemy has turned its respective biome into a battle arena, and it's been fun to watch. It also killed everyone. The update is as promised. The clue is literally in the name. I hope the devs aren't perturbed by the plonkers who wanted what they expected, not what they were told would be arriving. Beyond these waters be spoilers. Suggestions, issues increase Y-axis hitbox on polearms, so they work on uneven terrain. One of the great things about sticks is that they can thrust up or down. Has this been tweaked, or am I more careful? I would also appreciate button queuing. Often I draw my shield and dagger only to find my dagger still sheathed and my right fist punching the enemy. Just learn to take all my stuff from my corpse chest when I get to it. If I have a rock on me, just stack it on my other rocks. I only need to decide what to take if the total amount of items exceeds that which fit on my person. This stacking business is a bit maddening when under pressure. Death mosquitoes should maybe be 10% louder. Wolves even more so, as they are quieter than deer. But please, stop the friendly wolves at base from constantly howling. It's so annoying that they are borderline silent when aggressive, and yet ruin the tranquility of my mead hall. Could natural reforesting be introduced over very, very many days? Can tar pits refill if dammed? This would make the world seem much more alive. Guck needs to respawn, even if it takes a fortnight. Otherwise, I'm never going to use my green torches again, or just have bone mass drop quite a bit. I'd quite like to be able to plant berry bushes. Cannot use saddle and loose a bow. Could you add a war saddle or mosquito repellent? There should be some benefit to using specific armor sets, not simply having one as being the best, e.g. troll armor should offer skill increase buff, so it has some late game use. With high risk, high reward. It will add depth and stop my friends and I all looking like clones. Treading water shouldn't stop stamina drain. Storms should increase drain when in water. Touching items above the waterline should allow stamina regen, except in storms. So you can cling to rocks, even if you cannot climb free. Ladders, alcohol, no idea how this would be helpful. Magic mushrooms, see Woodstock, filter setting on Rising Storm Vietnam, posted 30 March 2021, last edited 5th October 2021.
Okay, guys, well, that's it for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe for part 2. And don't forget that next week we have the Fauci Ouchie Pouchy giveaway, and it's only for subscribers.
Hey, Bill, is that
what,
you
Joe?
I can hear? It's me,
What?
Joe.
Yes, it's me, your old friend, Bill Clinton. How are you, Joe?
Bill, it's great to hear your voice, my older friend. I knew I recognized it from the second I heard it. How's Jeffrey?